What's going on, family? Let me get me set up right. All right, so welcome. Welcome to this first lesson on how to be a great broadcaster on any platform. And it's amazing how time flies. My name is Mark Clark. I am a 30-year radio veteran, and I thought I would give this out because so many people are doing podcasts these days and doing an excellent job. People who've never done it before are killing the game. In fact, us veterans sometimes have the worst podcasts ever. I'll get into why professional broadcasters have the worst podcast ever. I'll get into that later. But today, our first lesson is something that I think is the most important thing when you talk about broadcasting on any platform. I say on any platform because now you got Facebook Live, you got Spreaker, you got all these podcast sites, you got any phone. I mean, you can get on a platform, and they're invented every day. So I thought, why not give out some advice on something that I do know about? I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's so funny because I'm sadly turning into the old guy who's been doing something a long time and who tells people I've been doing it for 30 years. I know, I'm sad. If I said that to you, I apologize. It's the last time I'm going to say it. So our first lesson, I would say, is finding your voice. Now, this is something that takes a while. Basically, when you first start, the first time you've ever heard your voice recorded, you remember that first time, you were like, oh my God, do I sound like that? And then most people will say, I don't like my voice, right? And then once you get past all that, and you will go through that phase, and you listen to yourself. A lot of people don't like to listen to themselves. I would say listen to yourself and critique yourself, because that's how you get better. And also, it's how you can hear yourself, because even when you say things doesn't mean you can hear things. Case in point, you saw these newscasters who got in trouble for saying Martin Luther King or saying whatever, and you see it all the time. If you're a broadcaster, you say things and don't even realize you're saying it. So I would suggest, especially when you first start, or at all times, always check out what you're doing. Listen to yourself. Hear what you're saying. Are you articulate? Are you clearly stating something? Did your point make sense? Did you cut to the chase? Were you concise? Did you go on? Is there a better way to say it? Did you beat around the bush? These are all things you can listen to. Do you have crutches? We all have crutches. Is it what's mine? My crutch is, I have phrases that I say, like, see, there's a phrase right there. What's my phrase? The reality is, that used to be one of them. The reality is, what does that even mean? Other phrases, that you just kind of lean on when you're talking, when you talk every day. So first lesson is finding your voice. And what did I mean by finding your voice? First of all, it's being comfortable with how you attack or how you speak, how you broadcast. Some people in radio, we call them yuckers. Some people, when they get in front of that microphone, they start sounding different. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? My name's Mark Clark. Some people are super hype. Some people are super mundane. Some people talk very slow. Some people talk very fast. So finding out who you are, and who you are is who you are. I think that's the best thing about what's going on with these podcasts. People who aren't really professional are just themselves usually, and it works out great because that's what people want. Genuine people. They want reality, reality stars, So just being yourself is your voice. Who are you? Who are you? I think I would say, And it's an interesting question. Ask yourself, who am I? When it comes to communicating, who am I? You may not know. You may have to record yourself over time and you come to a conclusion of who you are. You know, I think I am, if I analyze who's Mark Clark, I'm a storyteller. I talk a lot about my family. I'm very emotional. What I mean by that, I'm very sensitive to others' emotions. I'm easily moved by any type of inspirational story, any type of family story, any type of overcoming odds story. I'm all in. I love to hear, you know, the underdog wins it all stories. As far as my voice is concerned, I have a very kind of a very natural delivery. My voice isn't very deep. It's not very high, but I think it's emotional. It's expression. I have a voice that it easily expresses emotion. I think I have a middle of the road kind of voice. I think that comes from the Midwest, where people say, I don't know exactly where you're from. I can sound Southern though, and I think that gives me a everyman quality. Like, you know, you can kind of feel like you can trust my voice because it's not too proper, it's not too East Coast, it's not too this. It's kind of, you know. But again, finding your voice. Who are you? You know, finding your voice. So that was more technically voice. Then you have finding your voice. Who are you from a standpoint of your beliefs? You know, what do you believe in? What's your point of view? And that's where you make all your money. When people come to get your take, your point of view, that part of finding your voice is the money maker. Like, you look at someone like D.L. Hughley, Dave Chappelle. What's happening is comedians are really thriving because that's what comedy is. It's their point of view. And so now, because these platforms are available, people are starting to thrive on platforms because they have something to say. They have a point of view. Now, I think the reason why sometimes the professional jocks like myself, the pro DJs, don't do well in podcasts, it's either because we were so well taught to not have a point of view but be in the middle that sometimes we don't have anything to say. We're talking about, you got to have something to say. You have to be passionate about a side. And I think a lot of broadcasters, when we were coming up in the old days, it was be neutral, present both sides of the argument, you know. And so a lot of jocks sometimes don't have very great takes. DL's a master of it. Dave Chappelle's a master of it. Howard Stern is I mean, you know who else is that personally I don't like? Rush Limbaugh, a master of it. You know, I think Rush Limbaugh, when it comes to conservative talk, is the king, and then everybody else, they're like hacks, but hate sells, so they still get paid. But yeah, what's your point of view? What's your point of view is going to put some money in the bank. Charlemagne the God, all these people with these strong points of view, you love them or hate them, but they can get paid because people like the points of views and they can relate. Corey Holcomb is also strong. Again, most of these guys are, if not comedians, they're funny, they're witty, they can be offensive, you know. So what's your point of view? Do you have something to say? Are you passionate about something? What are you passionate about? You know, your point of view or your voice, what are you passionate about? I'm passionate about helping people live better lives. I'm passionate about family. I'm passionate about kids. I'm passionate about relationships, interrelationship information. Again, as a radio guy, mornings mainly, my passion was hopefully entertaining people but giving them information that could change their life in a positive way every day. And communicating positive energy every day, because that's who I am. You know what I mean? Like when I get up in the morning, I'm pretty much a happy person every day. I'm pretty much gung-ho, positive every day. I want to pass it on. So that was a big part of my success as a morning guy. But yeah, finding your voice. Your voice is unique. Everybody's voice is unique. It doesn't have to be controversial. You could just be passionate about things. You could just have a unique way of saying things. You can make complex things sound easy. Some people are very technical. I love that. I have friends who are brilliant, and I just love to hear them break things down. I love to hear how their mind works. And that's why people love podcasts, why people love these platforms that are out there, because now you can find what you like, and there's something out there for everyone. Some people, you see the podcast, you see the successful ones. Some people cook cakes every day. Some people show desserts. Some people show complex meals. Some people analyze, complex topics. Some people, I love Malcolm Gladwell. I love his point of view. And so once people start to find your voice or listen to you, and they find what you're saying and how you say it, that's when they attach to you. So finding your voice, I think, is very important. That's the most important thing as you broadcast on these podcasts, because how you say things, what you say, is the reason why people come back. If you're not saying anything, and again, I think a lot of professional announcers know how to say things. We can make it sound, we're articulate, we have the right timbre, we have the right voice quality, but what are you saying? And I think a lot of us, and I'm going to say me included, a lot of us know how to say something, but we ain't saying nothing. So that's why you can't get the numbers that you desire. And so for those who are beginning, think of that. Your point of view. What's your unique point of view? Well, you're already unique. So once you find out and know how to bring you to the microphone, then, your unique voice will find itself. But, talking about something you're passionate about, something something you want to know. These are all ways to find your voice. So that's lesson 1. Not too long, about 13 minutes. Not too bad. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you're checking this out, share it. If you hated it, let me know with a thumbs down. Sorry for the rocky start. I was getting my camera set up. But thanks so much. Again, I am Mark Clark, and lesson 2 is on the way.